Hello friends, welcome back to Yoga with Paige and welcome back to our 5th day of Chakra Week. Today we are focusing on the throat chakra, our center of communication, which is funny because I just received my new microphone, so hopefully my communication today with you will be projected more clearly, more audible, and better. So everything works out as it's supposed to, am I right? So our 5th chakra is denoted by the color light blue and deals with our sense of expressing ourselves authentically, truthfully with others, with ourselves, not being afraid to express our true, authentic thoughts, our wishes, our desires. So we will be flowing very gently, slowly, working a lot, opening up through the neck, the throat, so we'll be tilting our head back a lot. So just take care, don't force anything. If any of these movements with the neck don't feel great, we don't have to do them. We can just instead focus our attention and our awareness on the throat area, maybe doing a little visualization. We'll do some of that together. So yeah, if you are struggling to express yourself with others lately, or maybe you're struggling to find your true authentic voice within yourself, this practice should really help open you up and allow free communication to flow. So whenever you're ready, we will begin in a comfortable, easy seat, sitting up nice and tall, rooting down through the sit bones, rolling the shoulders back, breathing nice through the belly, starting to already bring our awareness to the throat, visualizing it as its own energy, a ball of light. Everything that we express from our hearts, everything comes through our voice, and we want to be able to be seen and heard as we naturally are, because whoever you are worthy of being loved and of expressing your true self. So taking a moment to close the eyes and just bring our awareness to that point. We can say with me, after me, I choose to speak clearly. And now you can say it with me, maybe whisper it to yourself. I choose to speak clearly. Beautiful. One more nice deep breath here. We're going to release the left hand, fingertips to the mat, taking the right hand to the left ear and just gently finding a neck stretch. Not forcing anything in the neck, just feeling this long line from the top of the head down through the side of the neck, all the way down through the arm. Using the hand as a guide, not as a force. Gently releasing to switch sides, placing the right hand on the mat, left hand on the other ear. Keeping the shoulders rolled down and back. We want as much space up here as we can in the heart and the throat. Heart chakra and the throat chakra are very connected. We need to know what we're thinking and what's going on in order to express it. So if you missed yesterday's class, I'll link it for you down below. Maybe we want to start with opening through the heart. And exhale to gently release. We're going to take the neck over to the right side. Hands can come wherever feels comfortable. We're going to start with a gentle neck roll. Tucking the chin into the chest, still sitting up nice and tall. One more neck circle this way, moving slowly. And when we reach the right side, we're going to roll the other way, gently to the left. Making this movement big. Noticing any physical crinks in the neck, any sensations. And ending our circles, bringing the crown of the head back up. Inhale, reach the arms above the head. And exhale, bring the hands behind the head. Inhale, lifting up the chest, the head just a little bit for a little seated cat-cow variation. And on the exhale, tucking the chin, bringing the elbows in together, rounding through the upper back. Flowing like this, moving with the breath, opening the elbows on the inhale, and drawing them close to the chest on the exhale. Still rooting down through the sit bones, not letting them pop up off the mat. This won't be a big cat-cow. We'll do another traditional one later. One more round of breath here. And then gently releasing the hands, coming into child's pose. Our big toes will be together, our knees as wide as the mat, allowing our heart to gently melt down. Reaching the fingertips out, getting as close to the mat as we can. Feeling connected here, everything is in line. Feeling the heart open, telling you what you feel, preparing yourself to speak clearly, authenticate your voice. Your voice deserves to be heard. Your unique voice has its beautiful place in this world. Dropping the forehead to the mat. Taking a few little sways with the neck, massaging the forehead. Opening up through the back of the neck, still reaching the sit bones down and back. And finding stillness. Lying here in child's pose for a few more breaths, sinking down, melting the heart, releasing any judgment, releasing any expectations of what others want you to be or say or feel. It's not your concern how they will feel by you expressing yourself. We're going to release that fear of expression today. Gently raising the chest, pressing back up, bringing the knees together, and taking the hands behind the feet. Fingertips pointing towards the toes. We're going to lift up the hips, trying to make a nice long line from the knees to the shoulders, maybe dropping the head back. Active in the quadriceps, gripping through the fingertips, letting the blood rush to the head. Deep breaths. And exhale, bringing the hips back down, gently raising up the head. No fast, quick movements here. Bringing the hands in front and coming to lie on the belly. Untucking the toes. We're going to extend the left arm beside of us, steepling the right fingers, bending the right knee, and sending that leg behind us. So we're laying on the left shoulder, getting a nice Shoulders stretch, gazing to the side or behind. Just feeling this nice opening sensation throughout the entire body. We're open, we're free to be whoever we want to be. You can sing that one too if you want. One more breath. And on the exhale, gently roll back to switch sides. Kicking over with that left foot. Steepling the fingers, maybe using that to gently press onto the right shoulder just a little bit more. Nice, beautiful shoulder stretch. You can rest the head down, or we can keep gazing behind, whatever feels good to you. And on your next exhale, gently release, coming back onto the belly. Hands come underneath the shoulders and pressing the chest up for this little cobra, upward facing dog. Just taking the gaze up, feeling the stretch in the abdominal wall. And exhale, we're going to press the hips back to child's pose. Then inhale, press through the hands, roll through the back, coming up into upward facing dog. Maybe lifting the knees this time. Exhale, back to child's, moving with the breath. Making these movements intentional. Warming up the spine. This is the last one. Meet back in child's pose. Exhale it all out. Then raising up onto the knees, preparing for puppy pose, walking the hands out in front, melting the heart down. Holding here for a few breaths, stacking the hips over the knees. Nice deep breaths. Getting to know yourself today, sitting with yourself. It's the first step to freedom of expression. And exhale, raising back up, coming into tabletop. Spreading through the fingers, grounding through the tops of the feet. Inhaling for cow, dropping the belly. Exhale, rounding the back, pressing away from the mat. Really noticing the throat opening on the inhale. And the back of the neck on the exhale. One more round. Coming back to neutral spine. We're going to tuck the toes and send the hips up, walking the hands out, downward facing dog. Begin pedaling out the feet. Moving slowly with care. Finding length in the spine. Feeling it radiate all the way down to the tippy top of the head. Gazing at the hands. We're going to ground through the left foot, raise the right, three-legged dog. Pulse that leg a few times, just opening up the hips. Then bend that right knee and straighten it a few times. Just warming up through the leg. Then keeping that knee bent, bringing it in through the chest And releasing into pigeon pose. We can always prop ourselves up with a block here underneath the hips. Kind of wiggle to find your spot here. Be here for a few breaths. Lifting the chest high, spreading through the collarbones, releasing through the hips any pent-up emotions, any fear, thoughts of judgment we don't need. We have no use for those things. Maybe we come down onto the elbows, still taking our gaze forward. Sending the pelvis down into the mat. And on your next exhale, lifting up if we were on the elbows. Bending the back knee, trying to grab the ankle, taking a quadricep stretch, gazing behind us. Still sending the pelvis down into the mat. Very active with the legs here. Only going as far as feels good. One more breath. Gently releasing the leg, turning to face the front of the mat, pressing up into plank pose, nice and strong. Connect to your core. Then take a slow chaturanga. Let's see how slow we can take it. Elbows in by the sides. And inhale, upward facing dog. Take a big deep breath. And exhale over the toes. Expel it out. Maybe stick out the tongue. Let it go. Don't be afraid to breathe deeply during this practice. Making sounds, feeling the vibrations in your throat. Grounding through the right leg, raising the left, gazing at the fingers, pulsing that leg, opening through the hips. Then bending and straightening the left leg. Nice and strong in the right, gripping through the fingers. Then taking that bent knee in through the chest and releasing it, coming into pigeon, finding our spot on this side. Maybe noticing a difference in the hips. Nice deep breaths. Keep remembering to breathe. Sending oxygen to the brain. We can always take our head back at any time in this practice. One more breath, and then maybe coming down onto the forearms, depending on where we're at today. Always honoring our body. It's not about how it looks, but about how it feels. Finding what feels good physically, finding what feels good to say, to speak out loud. Even if expressing yourself means just getting some thoughts out of your head. Sometimes that's all we need to stop that endless ruminating cycle. Just get things out, say them out loud, speak them. Gently raising back up, taking that quadricep stretch. Chest is nice and open. So is the throat. So are the hips. Everything's connected. Gazing in front or behind. Tapping into your intuition. Gently releasing that leg. And we're going to come sit on the sit bones, turning that leg out, extending the left, coming into a little straddle here. It doesn't have to be super wide. First, we're going to keep the hands behind the pelvis. And leaning back, keeping the feet flexed, dropping the head back. Noticing how that feels. Maybe finding a different perspective of this room. Feeling the stretch in the front of the throat. Maybe lifting the hips a little bit, coming onto the heels. Doesn't matter if you feel silly, I'm right there with you. Gently releasing, bringing the neck back, and walking the hands forward, coming into a straddle. Either on the fingertips, on the forearms, maybe finding a little movement here, a little sway. Feet are flexed, knees are pointed back. Externally rotating the legs backwards, sending the hips forward, trying to keep a flat back, really feeling this in the inner groins. And we're going to walk the fingertips over to the right foot, placing the right hand on the shin, grabbing onto the foot, releasing the left arm overhead, spiraling the chest nice and open, making a big movement here. Don't hunch down yourself. Be proud of who you are, what you value, what you prioritize, what you bring to this world, and all that you can share with it. Beautiful side body stretch. And exhale, sweeping that left arm around, releasing the right, walking the fingertips over to the left. Reaching the right arm over. Deep belly breaths. Gently release. We're going to take both legs over to the front of the mat, swinging them around. Coming into staff pose, sitting up nice and tall, reaching up through the spine, up through the pelvis, the heart center, the throat, the third eye, the crown of the head. Finding a flat back and taking a little forward fold, does not have to be far. Maybe closing the eyes, going within. Gently walking the hands back, we're going to come into fish pose. So if you would like a block to support your head, you can grab that now. Coming onto the forearms. And again, letting the head drop back. Maybe pointing and flexing the feet, noticing how that feels. Still feeling this opening happening in the upper body. Gently raising up the head, coming down onto the back. Taking the soles of the feet to the mat, preparing for bridge pose. So the legs are hip width apart, palms are down on the mat. Exhale, send the pelvis up, up, up. Maybe we kind of climb onto the shoulder blades here, tucking them in, squeezing through the glutes, the quadriceps, keeping the knees together, sending them up, not lying on the neck, but on the shoulders. This is a great balancer of pretty much all of the chakras. Everything flowing together. And if this feels okay for you, you can take it a step further, walking the feet back towards the head, trying to reach the ankles and sending the belly and the pelvis up even further. Deep breaths, holding for 2 more. And exhale, draw the arms out, let the hips down, and hug the knees into the chest. Finding a little rock, massaging the lower back. Just a gentle little sway. And if shoulder stand and plow are in your practice, we will be taking those now. If not, you can meet us in legs up the wall, which is where we are going next. So we can release the legs, straighten them, take the hands underneath. Probably shouldn't do it that way, I always rock up. We can use a block as well. Let the hands underneath the small part of the back. Let them rest here, legs kind of free floating up here. We're on the shoulders. Doesn't matter what your legs look like. We can stay here. We can try to straighten the legs, not dumping on the neck like you almost saw me do, but active through the glutes, through the legs, pointing the toes, trying to get as straight of a line as possible. Using the hands to help assist you. Using your breath. And we can release gently, carefully into plow pose, letting the feet drop behind the head. Taking what we need and leaving what we don't. As with any practice. Breathing. And we can gently roll onto the back. Keeping the legs up in the air for legs up the wall, or we can place the legs on the wall. Letting the blood continue to flow up towards the heart, away from the extremities. Maybe we bring the hands up to a little dead bug pose here. Breathing nice and deep. And we can gently release one leg and the other, extending them down, coming into corpse pose, letting the toes out at an angle. Arms are by the sides, palms facing up. Finding a gentle rest here, allowing the heart to slow down, your breath to relax. Noticing the breath in the belly, coming and going. Noticing the sound of the air through the nostrils as you breathe. And I'm going to give you a few throat chakra affirmations. You can silently, gently repeat to yourself. My voice matters. I speak my truth always. I release any fear about expressing myself openly to others. It is safe for me to express my feelings. And just enjoy a few moments of silence. And we can start to wiggle the fingers and the toes, waking the body back up. And when we're ready, we can gently roll to one side, staying here for a moment, feeling safe and secure with yourself. Before gently pressing up to a sitting position, where we inhale, bring the hands above the head, and exhale, bring the hands to the lips, our center of communication and power, connecting here. And then on your next exhale, bringing hands to heart center. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this class, opening up and balancing the throat chakra. If you did, please give this video a like. Let me know how it went for you down below. I would love to hear how your experience went. And if you're not already, hit that subscribe button to never miss more free daily yoga classes. I look forward to seeing you on the mat very soon, and I hope you'll join me for tomorrow, day 6 of our chakra week.